Hey guys, it's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Friday, January 7th, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of our player props for the day. Some of them aren't out yet, but most of them are, so we're going to use the NBA cheat sheet. We're going to dig down through a few players, and we're going to build a card. Today, to look at the players' game logs, I'm going to use RotoWire. I'm going to try to flip it up for each video so you can see some different sites that I do use. And we're also going to build a couple player prop parlays at MyBookie. If you don't have an account there and would like one, let me know. We've got a referral link in the description, and we'll give you 3 months free premium. And then we're also going to take a look at Thrive. And then in the article link, I'm also going to put my prize pick favorite card that I have tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. So as always, when we open up the cheat sheet, the first thing I do is I come over here to the prop tab and I kind of flip down through all of these games just to get a feel for who's in, who they're projecting for the most points. As always, Chicago, you got DeRozan, Levine, Vuk's going to lead rebounds. You can compare this to the last 7, last 15, and then look at the opponent DVP. Now, once I get a good feel for who's in, who's out, and I kind of look at everything, I come over here to this last 7 tab, and I've blown it up to 130%, so hopefully you can see the numbers here a little bit better. Also, if you look down at the bottom of the screen on YouTube, there's a cog. If you click that, that's your settings, and go to quality and click 720p. That will also make the resolution a little bit better for you depending upon what you are viewing on. So as always, when we come in here to our who is hot, who is not player prop tab, we're going to go to points, rebounds, assists. We're going to sort this high to low as we've done over here. And we're going to go down the list of names, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of dig into some of the logs and get an idea of some players that we do like. So I'm going to go over a lot more detail in the video than the article just so I can explain stuff, show you what I'm looking at, and get a good idea of what we're trying to build. So Trey Young, he's not out yet. He's questionable, so we don't know if he's going to be in. Dwight Howard, he plays little minutes. Anfernee Simons, it was one game that's skewing this up, so I'm going to skip over that. So Kyle Kuzma is the first guy that comes up, and there's 3 games over the last week, so I like having 3 games under my belt to give me a good average. He's playing a good amount of minutes, and I just kind of scroll across here and see where his differences are. So rebounds, he's been doing a little better. Assists, so-so, but points are the ones he's really been thriving in. So he's projected at 16.5 points. He's been averaging almost 30 points per game in the 3 over the last week. And his points, rebounds, assists, the great difference there is kind of what led me on him. So Kuzma's one guy we're going to take a look at. And then we go down here to Kevin Huerter. So if Trey Young doesn't go tonight, looking at this 2 games over the last week, he's projected at 10 points tonight, but he's been putting up an average of 21.5. He's someone I would want to look at his points prop for. Giddey, don't have a lot of information on him. OKC's kind of tough. Here we have low minutes. Furk is someone we're going to take a look at. He's playing good minutes, and this jumped out at me. In the 2 games this week, he's averaging 22 points per game, and he's projected at 12.8, so that means his line's going to be pretty low, so we might be able to get some good odds there. Bradley Beal is the next one. 3 games this week, he's averaging 29.7 points. He's projected at 21.6, so you can see here in his PRA number, there's a vast difference, so that's someone that I always want to look at. Then coming down here, Darius Garland, he's only been back the 1 game, but the 1 game he did play, he put up 27 points. He looked really good. Cleveland needs a point guard to really take control of that game. He's projected at 19.8, so I'm guessing that his total is going to be around 20-21, and that's one we can look at an over for. And he also pops by having 41 versus 31 PRA number over the last 7. And then you've got some other guys you can dig into. None of these guys really get me excited. Some are low minute player, low usage players. Dejante Murray, he's another one. He's got 1 game in. His points were okay, rebounds okay, but what jumped out at me here is looking at his assist. He's averaging 12, and so I want to look at his game log because this is only 1 game. So this is showing 12 in his last game, and he's projected at 8. So he put up 4 more, so we want to take a look at that one. Joel Embiid, 2 games, he's averaging 31 points, projected at 24.5, so we've got a big total there. He's always projected monster rebounds, assists. I really stay away from him there, but his PRA number is kind of what led me to him. Pascal Ciacom, so one thing for sure is Van Vliet or Siakam will usually always go over. So When we look at Thrive, I did 2 cards. I did one with Ciacom and one with Van Vliet and paired it with the other 2 games I like. They could both go over, but one almost definitely will go over. So in 3 games, he's averaging almost 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. So overall, his points, rebounds, assist number, he's averaging about 7.7 more. So these are just some of the guys that jumped out at me that we're going to take a look at. And so let's go ahead and get started. So let's just start up here at the top. So I was waiting to do this video till Kyle's numbers came out. So Kyle Kuzma, first I want to show you a couple straight bets that I like. So his points, rebounds, assist numbers over 28.5 or at least 29, and it's even money. I like that. When we go over here, we're going to take a look at his game logs, and I know this font's going to be kind of small, so I will kind of read it off to you. So when we're looking at PRA, points, rebounds, and assists, he needs 29 to win. This is at least 29, so we could say over 28.5. So points alone, he's got 24, 36, 29, 25, 22, and then rebounds 9, 14, 12, 10, 7, 10, 10, and then he throws in 2 to 3 assists on top of that. So I like Kyle Kuzma, points, rebounds, assists to go over 28.5 for a straight bet. If you don't like going that because of his assist, his points is minus 118. That's pretty much a straight wager. And look at what he's been doing over recent games. 24, 36, 29, 25, 22. So he's been killing that. So if you don't want to give up that juice, you can go up to 20 at plus 108. You can go to 21 at 125 or 22 for plus 146. And one of the straight bets I will have tonight is Kuzma, points over 21.5 or at least 22 plus 146. That's just, he's been killing that recently, and that's really good odds to go ahead and take a look at. So let's go down here, take a look at the next guy. Herder, I don't think he was out yet. Nope, they still don't have him out. So Ferk is someone that I'm going to put in some of my little parlays where I go for a long shot. So his over-under points here is only 15, so over 14.5. So let's go ahead and take a look at his stats, and I want to see what he's been doing the last couple of games because he popped on the sheet when I was looking at it. So looking at his game log, so he's kind of not really doing much, but these last 2 games he really jumped out. That's not gonna let me highlight that. So he's played 36 and 40 minutes. He has 24 and 20 points. So 44 points over the last 2 games is really good. And his over tonight is 14.5 for pretty much a little bit more juice than a straight wager. I like that. If you want to juice this up a little bit, you can even go to 16 points at 109. If we go up to 18, that's going to put us at 120. If we go up to 20, we get one. Actually, I like that. I'm going to go ahead and put that down as one of my straight wagers. Let me write this down. Furkin over 19.5 points plus 192. That is just, the odds are too good for me to pass up on that. So he's someone that we like the points over based on the last 2 games. And then scrolling down, Beal, I do not think Beal was up yet. Nope. Oh, he just came up. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at his points. So 27 minus 112. We're going to go look at his game logs. So looking at his game logs, we've got 27, 35, 27, 29. So he's pretty much right at that number. Where'd we go? So this is over 26.5. So I like that for a straight wager. I mean, that's pretty safe for them to be there. Now, you can have a lot of fun with this. You can click Washington to win, and it jumps to plus 425, which is a lot of fun. If you think Chicago's going to win the game, but Beal's going to have a good game, you can still do it and get plus 161. So I like the odds of that there, and I may do one card with each one of them. Heck, who knows? But if we pump this up, let's see what 30 looks like. So if we get up to 30, we get plus 125. That's really not enough juice for me. If you want to parlay it up, you can take it down here to 24 at 244. That feels pretty safe. But with the big jump from minus 244 to 172, I would likely just go 25 minus 172 on Beal. One of my other favorite plays that I do like is Darius Garland. So we took a look at him, and we're looking at his points number. So over 20.5 minus 114, that immediately jumped out at me. And what I like about this one, let's take a look at his game log. So Darius Garland comes back. So he missed 4 games. Prior to those 4 games, he put up 22, 28, 22, and 21 points. And he comes back, doesn't miss a beat, 27 points in 36 minutes. So I figured his total is probably going to be 24.5. That would be kind of the number that I would shy away from it or say, hey, that's pretty good. But 20.5 for a straight wager, I like that. And I mean, 21 for normal money, that's going to be one of my straight wagers. If you think he can do a little better than that, you can take this 24 up to plus 134. And if you parlay 3 plus money items together, which we'll do in a little bit, it's going to give you a huge payout on odds. So Garland's one of the ones that I really like for a straight wager. Dejante Murray, let's go take a look at him. Now, what jumped out on his, I believe it was his were assists. So looking at this, okay, yeah, so we had one game that we're looking at here, but his assists show 12, and he's projected at 8.2. So I want to see what his number is first. So assists, we're looking at 9. So over 8.5, pretty much even money. So let's go ahead and take a look at his game log. So jumping over here to his game log. So he had a 5-game absent and 12 assists last game. But look at, how did I do that? There we go. But look at his assists prior to that. 13, 13, 9, 11, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's been at 9 or better in 7 straight games. And I can get 9 for even money. That's definitely one of the ones that actually, this line moved. I had it wrote down here to go over, and it was plus 109. Now it's out to minus 101. So wagers are already coming in on the Dejante assist. So I'm going to make a note here to jump on that one as soon as I end this video. And then let's go ahead and take a look. Embiid and Ciacom. So Embiid, he's just getting it done across the board. Let's see what his numbers are. So Embiid points, I've had a couple with him this week. He had one game where he had, I think, 28 points by the end of the first half. It was just insane. All right. Embiid. So points, look at these. 31, 31, 34, 36, 33. So 5 games, 31 or more. And then he had a low game of 23 against Atlanta, and then 41, 32. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 7 of the 8 games, he's been 31 points or higher, and we can get over 29.5 minus 120. If we jump that up to 31 where he's been, we can get minus 106 and save a little bit juice. I'm going to write that down. I like that as a straight wager as well. 30.5 minus 106. And I track the money too to see when these lines move. And then rebounds. I don't really like this one as much. So 12 minus 108 isn't bad. But look at his rebounds. It's kind of sporadic. 5, 15, 7, 11, a bunch in the 10. So for this number of over 11.5 or to get at least 12, he's been under, over, under, over, under. So I don't really like doing his rebounds. I like doing his points there. And then Pascal Ciacom. I don't think I had any stuff for Ciacom. Oh, he's not even out yet. Okay, so Siakam's not out yet, but that's someone that I do want to take a look at. And let me just look at his game stats, and we'll discuss him real quick. So Ciacom here, he's got 33, 18, 20, 25, and 28 points, and then 25 before his 2-game absence. Rebounds, he's doing really good, but kind of sporadic. 5, 12, 14, and 19. So he's got a low of 5, a high of 19, which is crazy. Assist is a solid 5 to 6. So I'd be curious to see what his PRA number is, as points, rebounds, assists. That's something that would jump out at me. So those are some of the straight plays that I like. So just to recap, we got Furkan to hit over 19.5 points plus 192. Garland over 20.5 minus 108. Dejante over 8.5 assist plus 106. Kuzma over 21.5 points plus 146. Embiid over 30.5 minus 106 is what I like for straight wagers. Now let's go ahead and build some parlays. So the first thing I like to do is build a safe parlay that I think has a real high probability of hitting. So I'm going to go ahead. The first one I wrote down here that I'm going to do is Jokic. So let's go ahead. Let me close these. Let's take a look at Jokic game logs and specifically points. He's someone that's just been killing it across the board, but I can't parlay his PRA numbers. So points, we got 26, 27, 24, 22, 26, 29. So he's got 6 games where he's been on fire. His number's 28. I don't like that, but if I drop this down to 22 for minus 526, that feels pretty safe. He's been over that in 6 straight games. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in here for what we're going to call our safe parlay. And then Jokic rebounds. I say I wrote this one down, but I think I clicked it out. So this is one you can put in there. I'm not going to. So his line number's 14. If you do 10, it jumps to minus 909, which is kind of tough cookie to swallow. But if you do 11, you get minus 550. And he's got 21, 16, 11, 19, 22, 21, and then 7, 10, 10. So that's not bad, but that's a lot of juice, and I've already got one leg with him. So I'm going to go ahead, Joel Embiid. He is the other one that we're going to take a look at. He's averaging 31 plus points. So if we knock this down to 22, we get it at minus 667. 23, minus 526. I like that. I mean, he's been over that in 8 straight games, he's been over 23. So he's 8-0 for being over that number. Jokic, if you want to go rebounds over 9.5 or 10, he's been over that in 15 of 16 games. But again, that's minus 909. So we'll add that at the end and see how much money that takes it up. Now, I love the Bulls. If you followed any of my sports betting stuff, I'm constantly on the Bulls. Levine is just amazing. He's a great scorer. And I mean, he just bombs threes. So when he's on, he'll light up a ton of points. So what I'm looking at here to add is his points number. So he's got 27, 35, 17, 25, 30, 32. So he had this one game here on the 31st against Indy, which they're a really good defense against three-point shots. But other than that, he has a low of 25 and then 3 games in the 30s. And his number's 25, so I like that. If you even want to do a straight wager, I'm going to write that down, because I do like that as a straight wager. And we could even take this up, and the long shot parlay we build, we'll take this up into plus money. So you could even get 30 at plus 146, which is pretty enticing. But let's go ahead. If we drop this down on something safe, what's a number we think we're comfortable getting? 22 at minus 357 is good. Our other two safe legs are minus 500, minus 526. So Levine to get 22, let's see how often he's done that. So over, under, over. So I feel pretty safe at 22. So let's go ahead and add that at minus 357. And then moving down here, this right here, if you just do these 3 legs, you can get a pretty decent straight wager, minus 123. And I feel pretty confident with all 3 of these legs. So if you want to hammer this one, this would be a hammer for me. I think it's going to be a good one without a sweat. But if you want to go ahead and add to it, I love the Garland points. I think the juice on this one is good. So Garland points 21. And we took a look at that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, because I don't remember exactly when we looked at him what we had found on his game-by-game trends. So taking a look at Garland points, he has 27, 22, 28, 22, 21. So some 21, 22s in there. So this number of 21 scares me if we're trying to go safe. So let's see how low we can get it and kind of keep this around minus 500 or less. So I can go to 17 at minus 476. That's not bad. If we go to 16, that feels like a no-brainer. It is 667, but that should take us up to plus money. So that's going to take us to plus 108. So I like that. I still feel pretty safe. Jokic to get 22, Embiid 23, Levine 22, and then Garland 16. So this is plus 108. Let me see what it is if I put Garland at a little bit more points. He's someone I don't mind moving up a little bit because I feel pretty safe. So we had 16. So 17 points drops at the 476. So that only takes it up 10 points. I don't like that. I'm going to stay at the normal points of 16 that we had. Feel pretty good with that. Even with a bad game, he should get 16 points. So that puts us up at plus even money. So that's kind of a safe. So typically, if you're betting like $5 big parlays, I would throw like 30 to 50 on this one and say this is the one that's going to build the bankroll, and then do 3, 4, or 5 long shot wins. Now, if you want to go up a little bit higher, the other one I like is Dejante assist. And so we took a look at those, and he's had a ton. So Dejante over 8.5 assists is minus 101. Now, if you drop this down, it's going to jump to 250. So that's a huge jump, basically going from even money to 250. But if we look at his game logs, he's been hitting this pretty consistently. So let me go ahead and pull this up and I'll show it to you again. So his assists are 12, 13, 13, 9, 11, 9, 10. So if you go to 8, that feels like a lock, but 9 for the same price feels pretty good. So even if you went down to 7, 667, that would take us up to plus 123. That doesn't really do anything for me. So let's go ahead and take a look at this 9. So if we go Dejante, so typically how I'm attacking this is I'm going to do the top 3 for like a 3-unit wager, and then I'm going to do 1 unit, add Garland, and then I'm going to do 1 unit and add Dejante. So, and I'm just going to use the 9 number. I mean, that's good money. If you want to go up here, you can get plus 110, but moving 10 points for another one when 9's kind of where he's consistently been hitting, I'm going to go with that. So now if you're riding with this is going to give you plus 286. So that's not bad. $10 wins 2860, or 100 wins 286, depending upon your wagering and how you want to do. So that's kind of a safe parlay that I want to build. And then let me go ahead. Now let's build a long shot parlay that's going to pay a lot of money. So typically you can either do 10 legs and get it around minus 500 where you feel a little bit safer, or we're going to try to get 3 or 4 that are plus money. So one of the things that I want to look at on this one, there's a lot of different ways you can go. So Levine 3-point shots is one that jumps out at me. So I'm going to give you 5 legs that you can put together, and you can mix and match. You can take 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, whatever you want to do. So first, let's take a look at Levine 3-pointers. So Levine over here on 3-point shots. Let's see, 3-point shots made. He's got 4, 7, 0, 5, 5, 5, 7. So we'll throw out this game against Indy, which is really a really tough perimeter team, but 4, 7, 5, 5, 5, 7. So when I come over here and take a look at it, over 3 minus 135, that feels pretty good. I like putting that in a safe wager. If we go up to 4, minus 119, that's not as good. I'd rather take the over 2.5 at this number. But if we come over here to 5, look, this jumps to plus 171. So we're going to do, and how often has he done that? So he's done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of the last 7 games, he's hit that number, and we can get it at plus 171. So for a long shot parlay, that's going to be one of the hardest legs to hit, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Garland points is another one. I think the line is just way too low here. So at 21, I'm going to take this up to where I can try to get some plus money. So 23 plus 112, we're going to go ahead and add that in there. And you can see that's already putting us at plus 475. So that's a pretty good parlay, and I like it if we can get the first one through. And then adding this one, I'm going to put Furky in here. I mean, that number of plus 192 is just crazy. So the 15 points, oh, it's not that much to go from 15 to 20. 17 even gives me plus money. So let's see what a couple of these look like. So 19 points, 20 at 192. Let's see what that cranks this baby up to. All right, so now we're up to 15 to 16 to 1. So 15.7 to 1 if he can get 20 points. So that's pretty good. Let me see what it is if we drop that down to like 18 points. I don't want to get too crazy on it, but I want to have it believable where I can kind of get there. So if we do 18 at plus 120, okay, that ain't bad. We're still at 11 to 1. So let's go ahead. So right now we've got Levine 5 3-pointers, Garland 23, Furky 18. I don't know. I kind of like that 15 to 1. All right, let's just roll with this one for now. I don't want to get too crazy. Dejante assist. Let's go ahead and just throw that one in there. That is just 9 at even money. Let's see what 10 would do. Plus 110 is not enough, so we're going to slap that baby in there. That's going to put us at 22 to 1. And then what I have, Jokic, Levine points or Levine 3-pointers. Now see what's crazy, you got to be careful if you're building on MyBookie and you do this Levine points. So look at this, we're at plus 2,200, and then let's say we put this in here. It drops to plus 1,700. Is that not the dumbest shit you've ever seen? It drops 5 to 1 because you add points in there because you have his 3-pointers in there as well. So make sure you watch that when you're adding stuff. The other one for a long shot, what I'm going to go with is just Jokic boards. So 14 minus 133. I mean, we looked at his game log earlier, but I want to show you again. So this is one, if you're going for a long shot, anytime he's in a good DVP spot, I mean, look at his rebounds. 21, 16, 11, 19, 22, 21. So I want to see where can we get safe. So 14, he's been over, under. So other than the 11-point game or 11 rebound game against Houston, 16 has been his floor. He's been at 16 or better in 5 of them. So if we go to 15, can we get plus money? I almost got there. So 103 to 116, 133. See, the line's really not moving that much, so I don't mind even taking this down, being a little safer. Like, here's the biggest jump, 133 to 204, so I'm going to keep this at 133, but to go to 16, it's not really worthwhile for me. So for a long shot parlay, this is going to give us 40 to 1. I like that. That's pretty good for a long shot parlay. So those are some of the ones that I do like. I'm waiting for a Ciacom, Van Vliet to come out. I gave you my straight wagers. If Trey Young's out, I'm going to look at Kevin Huerter. But yeah, we got 5 straight wagers we put in here. I got a few combos. So that's a safe parlay I like. That's a long shot parlay that I like. And then looking at Thrive, I can kind of run down through these and show you the ones. Here, let me just show you the ones that I did. So these are the 2 cards that I did. I did 10 to win 62. But I did Dejante over 27.5 assist and points and Fox over 21.5 points on both of these cards. And then I did one with Pascal Ciacom over 25.5 points and assist and Van Vliet over 27.5 points and assist. One of these 2 will win, if not both. So I'm basically really following the Dejante and Fox. And the reason I like them, let's go ahead and take a look at Fox. I didn't really like a lot on Thrive today, and we'll flip down, take a look at a few. But like Fox, he's really been ramping up, and I mean, he's a solid scorer. So before he had his absence, and I don't know if it was injury, COVID, whatnot, so don't quote me, but 33, 31, 13, 29, 28. So he's consistently upper 20s, had a 4-game absent, came back, struggled with 12, and 16, and 10, but he was still taking 12 to 17 shots, so I like his field goal attempts. And then now, January 2nd, he kind of kicked it in, had a 24-point game, and then a 30-point game, and followed it up with another 30-point game. So I really like him to go over 21.5 points. I feel like that's a good line. And then Dejante, points and assist. We looked at his assists, so what jumped out at me was we already know he's going to be somewhere between 9 and 12 assists. So if we're looking at 27.5 and he's got 9 and 12, we're basically saying, hey, if he can score 19, 20 points, he's pretty much locked in. So when I come over here and I look at his game logs, so when we come down here, so he's got 22 points, 12 assists in his last game, so that's 34. And his number's 27, so I like it. We got some cushion there. Prior to that, he had a low-scoring game there, but still had 13 assists, so that put him at 22, so he would have been under. But then here, he would have been over, just under by the hook. So I like to lean there with that one because they're going to need him tonight. But again, nothing that I absolutely love. And then I don't have Prize Picks where it can pull up on my phone, but I'll go ahead and tell you the ones that I did. A 4-man card on Prize Picks. I did Dejante over 8.5 assists. We talked about that one. Kyle Kuzma over 17.5 points. Zach Levine over 24.5 points. And then Christian Wood over 17.5 points. I felt like that was kind of fair for the early look for what I liked on there. But anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Good luck. Make sure to utilize the sheets and yep, subscribe. We'll keep posting them as much as possible. Thank you.